you have the height of these guys?
What's that?
Their heights? No.
Oh, the height.
No.
There.
Okay, confirm.
I know. I know.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll just estimate.
Setepo is 6'5". Ellis is 6'8".
6'8".
No, sorry, Ellis is 6'9". Johnson is 6'8".
Okay.
John Smith is 6'1".
6'1".
Okay. What's that fella's name?
That's okay. I just wanted those three.
Gunawan is 6'2.5". Gunawan, number 13. He's just known as Gunawan. No relation to Ronnie Gunawan.
Oh, Gunawan. Is he one of the main players? Is he one of the main players?
No.
So a lot of the times when I talk will be after a basket when they're in transition.
Yeah.
Right?
No. When they score, you talk. So you talk off the ball and replays.
Okay.
But if you want to put your hand up, that you see something, you want to say something, you put your hand, just go boom.
Okay.
And then I'll switch it to you.
So after they score, then I'll kind of describe how they did it.
Now, before we start the match, it's a very special day today. Alright, so let's grab the teams to the handshake, and we're going to do our national anthem. So I need everybody please to stand in front of the player of the match.
I'm not supposed to hear anything in here.
No, you don't. Outside.
Okay. Will you need this at all?
No, that's yours, buddy.
Okay. I don't want to hog it.
Mine's in here. Hello everyone and welcome to the ASEAN Basketball League Season 2014 game between the home team, the Westports Malaysia Dragons, and the visiting Indonesia Warriors, live on our ABL live stream YouTube channel. It's me, Ben Ibrahim, and Nick Velasco. And Nick, welcome back to Malaysia. What's it like to be back in MABA?
It feels great to be back in MABA. This is one of the best.
Fantastic, Nick. Hold your horses there. Over to you, Lenora Lau, our courtside reporter, who's got Coach Ariel Vanguardia.
Thanks so much, guys. Coach, tell me honestly, are you worried? Because Indonesia Warriors, they had a really good offense last season. They had a 4-point guard. But this season, they're not really as strong as last season. However, they have Chris Carney, Chris Ellis, and also John Smith. What are your thoughts on this? Are you worried?
The Warriors is a championship team, so you have to respect them. We respect every opponent, and we have high respect for their new guy. Killed them last time. We'll be ready to come up with the best.
I'm sure you will. And Mo had a fantastic game against Singapore Slingers. Now, can that defense carry forward to today's game?
I hope we'll be consistent. But it's got to be our team defense. It's got to be this.
Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you, Ben.
Thanks very much, Lenora, and Nick Velasco right next to me, and we are moments away from opening tip-off. The Indonesia Warriors, last year's runner-up, taking on the home team, the Westports Malaysia Dragons. And Nick Velasco, hold on to your seats, and here we go. Team captain, Bunsen, leads the way. Knock, spins, rejection. And Indonesia have the ball.
Okay, that was a good move by Knox. I think they're going to have to keep pounding it inside to him. Eventually, he's going to get loose and start knocking those jump hooks down.
That's why we love having Nick Velasco here, former Westport Malaysia Dragons and current player in the famous PBA in the Philippines. And there's a foul there, holding foul, and it will be Dragons ball. Bunsen looking for the open man, and knocks off the glass and one. And he's got the foul.
That was a great move right there. Chris Eversley came in, dropped pass to Justin Knox, and just like I said earlier, they're gonna knock it down and get an and one out of this. So this right here actually kills two birds with one stone. They're gonna get the other team into penalty early if they keep pounding it inside like that. You get their big man going, and also, they put extra points on the board.
Justin Knox, 3 points. Indonesia get the hit back. Indonesia production has been a bit low this season. Open man, basket.
Oh.
That's the Indonesian we know from the past, Nick.
Right. The Indonesia I remember, they're some outside shooters.
fakes, Bunsen for the three, and it's stuck.
That's not a problem. See, they went inside the first two possessions, and now they kicked it out for a three. You know, you want to start the games out early, going inside and pounding it inside, get the other team worried about the paint. That's what opens it up for the perimeter. So that's not a bad shot, even though he missed it. Those are going to start going down later in the game.
Well, Malaysia had a solid defensive performance against the Slingers last week. Can they carry that momentum over to this game? Indonesia's a little bit low in confidence, but they've had a roster change. They brought in John Smith back, who was completing a paramedic degree or qualification back in the States. And he came back last Sunday. Tautua now, the enforcer, tries to look it up the glass.
Malaysia ball. So for Indonesia, I mean, they really haven't, their imports haven't touched the ball yet. So I could see them going into Johnson and Christian on the next possession.
5 with a quick one. Ball rims out. Indonesia on the fast break. Can they go? And
oh, he missed it.
Oh, that would have been, I was just about to say coast to coast.
He missed that one. See, that's one of the problems when you shoot three-pointers from the corner. Yeah, he kind of missed the layup right there. That happens. It's very embarrassing.
That
But
technique, Nick Velasco.
I've done that a few times in my career, unfortunately.
Ellis tries to do it himself. Sorry, that was Tremaine Johnson, the man who studied at the Eastern Washington University Eagles, known as the Eags. Big Sky Conference in the NCAA, big football school in America.
There we had Chris Ellis with the turnaround jump shot.
He's trying to get his game back. He didn't have the best shooting game last week against Singapore, but Coach Ariel told him this happens in this part of the world sometimes.
There we go with Chris Ellis. He missed a turnaround jump shot, so he got the ball back and tried to pound it inside. Like that's what basketball players do. I could see him doing more of that the rest of the game.
A great move by the Dragons.
That was a great
layup by Eversley.
That was a great backdoor pass from Tautua to Eversley. That's good court vision. You know, I like to see Tautua, his game more rounded.
Satoros misses. He's known as a big man who can shoot him, but he hasn't gone to the shooting groove yet. Production has been a problem for Indonesia in the first two games. Average of 53 points in the first two games, Nick.
Right, well, from what I've seen in the first 4 minutes of the game, they haven't really gotten into anything on offense. So, you know, maybe that's a problem that they've had the first two games. And they got a new group of guys also. So it might take them a good half to get a good feel for each other.
Justin Knox having a great game. The man who played for North Carolina. Don't forget, North Carolina gave the world Michael Jordan, if you remember that name.
The greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah. But Indonesia moving it around the perimeter. What can Johnson set up here? Open, fakes. Travel call by the referee.
I think one of the problems that Indonesia is having right now is they don't really have the point guard position, number 7. He's got to start getting them into their offense better.
Haldianus Lakudu is at only about 5'9". Justin Knox posting up on Ellis, and he spins and gets it. Justin Knox, and yes, we go to our first overtime. Sorry, not overtime. And we're gonna go for a commercial break. Timeout. I said overtime. Got too excited there, everybody. We're just gonna go for a short commercial break, but when we come back, more from this game, the Dragons against the Warriors, right on ABL TV. said overtime. I was supposed to say timeout. Good.
Very good.
Very good.
No changes.
Runners-up of last season with me, Nick Velasco, I'm Ben Ibrahim, and Lenora Lau, our courtside reporter. And Nick, great start for the Dragons thus far.
It's a great start for the Dragons. They got it inside the first couple of possessions. They kicked it out for a three and they missed. And you know, they're getting Justin Knox really involved in the paint.
What do Indonesia have to make in terms of adjustments? They need points. They need production.
I think they have to start getting into some kind of an offense. Right now, they're just coming down one pass and attack. I personally would want to see the new guy they got, John Smith, come in and kind of take over the point guard position.
That's something that Indonesia was spoiled for choice last season. Madu Wusong, Stan Pringle, John Smith, and Tremaine Johnson gets his first. Great athlete for rebounding, man for hands. 1 out of 2 for Johnson, the man from California. Bunsen pulling full. The offense is set. He drives. Knox. Here they come on the fast break. Indonesia trying to get into the paint. Out to okay, and here come the Dragons on the quick fast break. Eversley bounce pass, Tautua.
Oh yeah.
And he stops it. All of Tautua is hooked.
That was a great push by Chris Eversley. He pushed the ball. Tautua came in perfect for the drop pass. Nice dunk.
Indonesia trying to hit back, but they can't find the basket. Dragons full of momentum, full of the run. Bunsen, Knox open. Oh, tries the reverse pass.
Yeah, that right there is just a case of, you know, one of all the best coaches I played for, they don't want to see you make one-handed passes. Once you make a one-handed pass, you just put it out there, you can't get it back. Right there, not only did he make a one-handed pass, but he went behind the back. Or he could have just turned around and two-handed chest pass.
The intent was good because Knox was open, wasn't he?
He was wide open.
Indonesia drives. And a foul call.
There we go. Now we see John Smith in there. I think the complexion of the game for Indonesia might shift a little bit.
Well, I spoke to him before the game and I said, "How's your fitness?" He said 6 out of 10 because he's still jet lagged. So you travel around the world a lot, Nick. Does that play a part?
Oh, it definitely does. But when you get into a situation like this with the atmosphere and, you know, the bright lights come on, it really gives you a big burst of energy.
Tried to float it in some sort of kicks. It gets the ball back. Now that's where the bigs for Indonesia, effective rebounds. Too tricky.
Right there, John Smith tried to create, go into his left, and he threw a nice pass. It just they just weren't able to handle it.
So, Coach Ariel making a change here. Eversley dribbles between the legs for the fadeaway. Very aggressive start by the Dragons.
Yes, that was a nice move by Eversley. It just, unfortunately, he missed. But I like his aggressiveness. Yeah. That keeps the defense on their heels, which is very important.
So Rashawn McCarthy on the court as well. He goes for the 2 and makes it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before Chris Ellis gets his game going. I see him a little frustrated out there, but once he knocks a couple of those down, he'll be all right.
Oh, Knox drives to the basket off the glass. That was class.
Nice move by Justin Knox. He got scored on by Chris Ellis, and he took it right back at him off the glass with the left.
Justin Knox having a fantastic game at the moment, but Indonesia are looking for those open looks. John Smith, now that looks familiar, Nick.
Right. This kid has really improved a lot in the past few years. I played against him 2 years ago when he was playing for Vietnam, I think, the Saigon Heat.
And that is a foul. They'll go to the line to the charity stripe. Justin Knox. Still about over 2.5 minutes left in this first quarter. And at the moment, it's Malaysia who has control, really coming out hard, using their fast breaks in transition.
Right. Basketball is really a game of runs, you know. Fortunately, the Dragons started out the game with a really good run. They built up a 7-point lead, but they have to stay focused. It can easily shift and change the momentum back to Indonesia.
But this is the thing, Nick. I asked some of the Dragons players, you know, sometimes they hit the lead in the first quarter, but in the second and third, they let the other teams come back, and they sometimes say, that's the way we play ball, unfortunately. But McCarthy tries to go, and here come Indonesia. Smith, what could he do? Connection with Johnson. Ellis tries to go for the putback.
Yes, Indonesia went with the quick attack right there off the missed 3 by McCarthy. Indonesia, they're really going to have to keep pushing the ball if they want to change the momentum of this game and, you know, kind of take it away from the Dragons.
Well, so far, Nick, this is the way I see it. They're just running forward. I mean, running forward, but with no offensive set, no structure. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, so far that's what I've seen in the first quarter. You know, when you get a new group of guys together this quick and then you have a game, sometimes you got to feel each other out. It might take a whole half for them to figure out how each other plays. I mean, they've probably been practicing together for the past week, but practice and game is totally different.
Tong Wen Kyung was calling a horns call. Quick. Dragons trying to get the rebound.
I had a nice talk with Quek before the game. He was my teammate when I was here two years ago. He's got so much potential. I just told him if you have any daylight, shoot it. So even though he missed that 3, I'm not mad at him. If he has any daylight, I wanted to see him put it up.
Warriors gets the ball back, steps back, and the big Knox is there. And here they come, the Dragons. Eversley open. Runs into traffic.
Nice. Really, it all starts with Justin Knox. He's holding it down in the middle on defense. He's pounding it inside on the offensive side. And that fast break by Eversley doesn't happen without Justin Knox getting the rebound and starting the break.
And we can hear Coach Ariel's voice already in full force. And Chris Eversley studied sports management in Rice University in Houston, his first professional job out of college.
He actually went to another school near my hometown, Cal Poly.
Yes.
California guy, just like me. I'm from the Bay Area.
That's right. But he says he's from the Windy City, so. But gets the rebound. Quick. Can he shoot it like you said, Nick? No, he turns the ball over.
Yeah, he's just got to get more comfortable out there. He'll be all right. Sometimes you got to get the little jitters out of the way real quick before you get a real good feel for the game.
Coach Ariel trying to blend in. Indonesia moved the ball.
Indonesia right there in that possession, they moved the ball around. They passed the ball probably about 5 or 6 times before they got a shot. Unlike in the beginning of this quarter, it was really one pass, shoot, one pass, shoot. So there's the difference right there. They put more pressure on the Dragons to play defense, and it ended up in a foul.
Tactics. Satepu, the man they call Dodo, gets his first. Dodo from Medan, Kampung Medan in Indonesia. Will get some rest, the new man. Tautua looking for options. Nervously drives off the glass. McCarthy loses it. Here come Indonesia, Tremaine Johnson. Gotta hold on to the ball better for both teams. Eversley open, he goes for the bucket. Tautua for the putback.
Well, right there, what I saw is, you know, Malaysia Dragons are being very relentless on the offensive rebounds. That's very important. It puts so much pressure on Indonesia because they have to worry about boxing these guys out. So far, I saw all 5 guys go to the offensive rebound about 3 or 4 times in a row, and it ended up with a putback by Tautua.
Well, that's something that during your time with the Dragons, that wasn't a strong point with the Dragons, rebounding. But now Coach Ariel is really trying to brainwash the guys and say, look, we got to play two-way basketball.
Right. Yeah. Well, from the looks of the team that Coach Ariel put together, he brought in some super athletes. Eversley, I mean, these guys jump way above the rim. Moala, these guys are all above the rim all the time, and they got really fast. They're quick off the ground.
So we've got about 10 seconds left in the game. It's only a 3-point ball game. Malaysia has it for the 2. Is there time for some magic here? John Smith. And that is the end of the first quarter right here at MABA. It's the Dragons 16, Indonesia 13. We're just gonna go for a very short commercial break. But when we come back, more basketball.
Yeah, they came back. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Talk about them.
Okay, welcome back to MABA, everybody. This is live on our ABL live stream YouTube site. You're with me, Ben Ibrahim, Nick Velasco, and Lenora Lau, our courtside reporter. Westports Malaysia Dragons up 16-13. Could have been more if a few more baskets went in, Nick.
Right. Like I said earlier, it's really a game of runs. Malaysia started out the game with a run, and just as easily Indonesia came back. Now it's only a 3-point lead by Malaysia. You know, it really depends on who's going to keep up the defensive intensity.
Quick, can he get? Now your boy Quick.
That's
Listen
my boy.
to your advice. He took his shot, and it's good.
It's good. It's good. Anytime he has any space, I want to see him put that up. He's got a really nice stroke. It's very natural for him. It's just a matter of confidence with Quick. If he can get his confidence up, he's going to be very, very explosive.
Baseline jumper there from big number 19, Chris Ellis from Tautua for the basket. This man has just found a new level of confidence.
That was a very nice setup right there. Very nice setup by Ban Sin. No, that wasn't Ban Sin. Wen Kyung.
Tong Wen Kyung, new
Yes.
player.
Very nice setup for Moala.
So we've just got our stats coming in right here. And most efficient player for Indonesia is Lakudo, but Tautua gets the ball back, drops it in. Great drop shot there by the big man, Justin Knox. Now the momentum has really, really started strong for the Dragons, Nick, in the second quarter. Like you said, all about runs.
It's all about runs. You know, they want to start out each quarter strong, but they also want to finish strong. Like last quarter, first quarter, they didn't really finish too strong. The more consistent they get, the better. They keep pounding it inside to Justin Knox, and that's what's really good, because I don't see anyone on Indonesia that can stop him right now.
Justin Knox moving in. Tautua drives, fakes, and goes to the charity stripe for a foul.
The biggest problem I see right now for Indonesia is their defense.
Which is very contrast to what we're used to, Nick, over the last two seasons, because that was their hallmark of their game in the last two seasons. Good defense, good shooting.
Well, really, you know, it depends on your personnel. You make a few personnel changes, and it changes the whole complexion of your team. I didn't see what they looked like last year, but from what I see now, they're really not able to handle the big players of Malaysia.
Now Moala Tautua gets a free throw, and he has told me, and he wants to tell everyone, make a statement that his game is not just about going to the basket, driving to the hole, but also about shooting.
Right. Well, one thing I had a good conversation with him when they were in the Philippines. One thing I told Moala is to stay within himself. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to play too much outside of your game and experiment too much. The basic fundamentals of your game, if you could do those really good, with his athleticism, like right now, he'd be one of the best players in the PBA as well as in the ABL.
PBA, wow.
Yeah, yes, I really believe so. He's got some maturing to do, but he's well on the right track.
Well, Malaysia fans are just happy that Mo has come back for second consecutive season, no question, and just drives. Where was the defense there, Nick Velasco?
It parted like the Red Sea on that one. That was a very nice move by Wen Kyung.
Open. He could have easily gone for a shot there, but
Yeah,
a bit too creative, Nick.
Indonesia still looks a little bit disorganized. I guess I would blame that mostly on the new players. They haven't got a good chemistry together yet. Unlike the KL Dragons, the KL Dragons point guards are really running the show right now. They're getting the ball to the right players. They're getting the ball inside and moving the ball.
What a movement. That's another movement that we've seen. Really, kick out to Justin Knox, let him go in and just lay it in. I mean, great play there over Ellis.
Right there on the replay, what we saw was Tautua and Justin Knox. They're playing a really good high-low game. So one of them gets it low and he kicks it high for a nice jump hook, or they get it high and they drop it down for a layup or a dunk.
Very effective system, and it's working wonders right here at the moment. And a 10-point lead for the Dragons. In the first quarter, Justin Knox scored 10 points. 10 out of the 16 points for the Dragons. And new man Chris Ellis scored 4 out of the 13 points for Indonesia. Shipping in was Setepu, Roharjo, and Vamiga Michel But like you said, Nick, they looked a bit disorganized. No chemistry there yet. You know, 2 players coming in, trying to blend.
With the KL Dragons, you really see where they're focused on getting the ball. Every time they get it, whoever it is, like Eversley right there, they're trying to get into the paint. Whoever gets the ball, even Wen Kyung, when he gets the ball, he's trying to get a piece of the paint. And if he can't get to the basket, he drops it for a layup or a three-pointer.
I love your coaching expertise and breakdown, Nick. Absolutely awesome. We're very fortunate, everybody, to have Nick Belasco, former Westport Malaysia Dragon and current PBA player. Played on some great teams and sharing his knowledge and experience with us, breaking it down. And at the moment, momentum is very strongly with the home team. But we've seen a few good things here and there by the Warriors.
The Warriors just need to get organized. You know, I'm really looking for John Smith to take over the offense and start being the court general out there, getting guys in the right place.
Eversley brings the house down. What a one-handed jam, and they are pumped.
That was a nice play by Eversley.
Nice play by Eversley. We'll have a look at that a little bit later, but right now we're just going to go for a short break. More basketball coming your way straight after the break. Welcome back to MABA in Kuala Lumpur. We are live on our ABL live stream on ABL YouTube channel with me, Ben Ibrahim, Nick Belasco, and Lenora Lau, our courtside reporter. More from Lenora a little bit later. She's going to break down the bench gossip to find out what adjustments both teams are going to make to try to win this game. But at the moment, Nick, it's Indonesia who needs to make the adjustments.
Right, and from what I just saw on this inbounds play, it was Coach Ariel that out of that timeout that made the biggest adjustment. He actually applied a full court pressure right there in a little bit of a trap in the backcourt. So he's not taking any chances right now. He's trying to widen this lead.
Good rebound by Justin Knox. Bansin, he wasn't a vocal character last season, but he's the team captain. Tautua and Knox trying to set up some screen. Bansin, Oi Bansin, shall I say, the man from Penang. The land where we know it for good char kway teow, has just hit a jumper.
It's like I said earlier, the point guards of Malaysia, like Bansin right there, he couldn't get to the basket, but he stopped and popped for a nice little 15-foot jump shot.
And here's Ban again. What can he marshal? Eversley! And Eversley he needs to score, doesn't he, to get his confidence up. He's setting it up well.
Well, right here we have Bansin with a nice pass to Eversley, and he just almost got the and one. But the aggressiveness of Malaysia is really at a high point right now. When they miss shots, you got 2 or 3 Malaysian players going after the rebound. They're almost boxing each other out going after the rebound, and that's a sign of a good team, a well-coached team.
Well, the Dragons were disappointed when they lost their opening game against the high-tech Bangkok City team. And
it looks like they're having a lot of fun out there, and you know that's really key. If you're out there and you're not having any fun, it reflects on the scoreboard.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, well, there's a good old saying in Malaysia: life is either fun or mafan. Mafan being Cantonese for troublesome. Nothing troublesome about the score at the moment for the Dragons. 37 points to 19. Like Nick Belasco said, aggressive start, having fun. But can they keep the momentum going And can Indonesia make some form of a game of this, Nick? Because their first 2 games this season, very low scoring. Cross-court pass. Kwan Yung Ching kicks out. Knox. Basket! Hits the tin.
Knox is very consistent. Right here, Yung Jing drives, and he kicks it back out to Knox for a jump shot. So not only is Knox holding down the paint, he's also hitting perimeter shots. He's shooting with his right hand, left hand, and then on the other end of the court, he's really shutting down Chris Ellis.
And John Smith get the basket and one. And Indonesia really needed that.
Yes, I've seen John Smith play very aggressive before, so I'm just waiting in this game to see him break out and show what he can do.
Actually,
and it's really needed by Indonesia right now.
Actually, that's a very good point that you brought up, because not many people, or coaches and players, took John seriously when he was at the Saigon Heat, when you were playing for the Dragons. But last season, he had a stellar performance. You know, knocking down shots, playing at 1, sometimes playing at 2. Coach Todd Purvis was spoiled for choice, having 4 good guards.
Yes, John has a lot of potential.
Rejection.
That's key right there for Indonesia. They really have to start playing defense, especially in the paint. Right there, we have Chris Ellis blocking Yung Jing's shot. You know, Yung Jing went in aggressively, but Chris Ellis is just a big, strong guy.
Knocks the ball out of Knox's hand, and here comes Johnson, one-on-one with Shifai. What did the referee call here?
Johnson really needs to start trying to take over also. You know, here in the ABL, it's an import league. The locals, you have some really good locals also, but imports are the ones that take over the games and make things happen.
Well,
so
very much the imports brought in to score. Very much an entertainment product, isn't that right, yeah?
Right, they're brought in to score. You know, they're usually more athletic and bigger and stronger. So, you know, their talent level has to be at a point where they can take over a game. And I haven't seen that from either one of the Indonesian imports yet. Actually, John Smith is doing better than those guys.
That was a foul there.
John
Referees
Smith
were also confused at one point.
John Smith almost got himself in position to take a charge, maybe just a split second too late.
Inches in timing, Nick. And Chris Eversley. One out of 2. From the man from the Windy City. Still a very young athlete. Indonesia. Ball rims out. And here comes Kwan Yung Ching. Go all the way.
I was looking for Yung Jing to take off right there. I've seen him do it many times where he dunks those. I think maybe the ball just slipped out.
Gets the putback, and that's what he's very good at. Offensive rebounds. Chris Ellis, the man who played for Denver in the Summer League of 2006, the Denver Nuggets in the NBA.
That right there is a case where you got to hit Ban Sin in a shooting pocket so he could just catch it and shoot it. Right there, it was the pass was kind of off. Even if he did catch it, his shooting percentage will go down because the pass wasn't on target.
Now, Nick, I got to ask you this question. What's the thinking of Coach Ariel here? Because I was just about to say he's using more of the local talent on the court at the moment. Is it because of the score? Or maybe is it because of tactics? Or when to use which players in which quarter? You know him well.
I know Coach Ariel very well, and one thing about him is he has a really good eye for talent. So for sure, he's not going to put guys in the game that he doesn't trust out there. Right there was a nice drop pass to Chris Ellis for the foul. But with Coach Ariel, you know, he brought me out here. He brought Tyrus Wade and Brian Williams when I was here. He has a really good eye for talent, and he really knows the timing of the game. Wow. So, you know, when you put younger players in the game at certain points, you're really allowing them a chance to grow and get comfortable with the crowd and the lights and the atmosphere, and that's really a talent from the coach. The coach knows the timing of when to do that. Ariel's really good at it.
And his opposite man, Coach Chokorda Raka, assistant coach under Coach Todd Purvis, is just really trying to bring this team together, get some organization, systems and structures. Look at this movement, Knox. And Knox getting a bit frustrated there, but he will go to the charity stripe.
See, right there is that same play. They hit Tautua on the short corner, and Knox dives in from the free throw line for a drop pass and a foul. They're just doing the same thing over and over again, and why fix what isn't broken? Keep getting the ball inside, keep getting to the free throw line, and putting pressure on the bigs of Indonesia.
Now, whoever said big men or bigs can't shoot, well, Justin Knox is killing that stereotype at the moment. He's having a great game. And he must have heard me.
You put the jinx on him on the free throw line.
I won't say anything anymore. Deep corner, on the wing. Open, Dodo. Misses it by a long shot. That's a foul. Do we have a bit of an injury here?
Tremaine Johnson, he's really got to get himself into this game. I haven't really seen him do too much offensively or defensively.
Tremaine Johnson. His father is John Johnson and his mother is Rosie Ellis. And big supporters of his career. Communications major. But looks like they really need to bring the communication up there, Nick, within the team.
I think he just needs to be aggressive. His team really needs it right now. That's pretty much why he was brought in. Most of these imports are brought in to score, like we said earlier. And with the way that they're struggling offensively, one of these guys needs to step up and try and take over the game. I see John Smith. He's trying to do it as the Asian import. I'm still waiting to see the two American imports.
So would you say leadership would be very critical in the next two and a bit quarters?
Most definitely. For Indonesia, they need the leadership to start getting them organized. You know, not only on offense but on defense. Justin Knox and Tautua and Chris Eversley are pretty much doing whatever they want out there.
Knox sets the screen, kicks out, Ban for the fake. Ball gets it, he almost lost the ball, but he held on to the turn and he got it.
That's great focus by Ban Sen. He almost lost it, then he put up the little floater right-handed jump shot, and it went in.
Well, I know assistant coach Tino Peanut for the Dragons have really worked with not just Bunsen, but a lot of these players on the Dragons team on their shooting, free throw shooting. And emphasizing, guys, it's not just in the follow through of your arms, it's all in the feet as well.
Right.
So
Coach Tino, he knows what he's talking about. He's a veteran coach from the Philippines. I've seen him around through the years. And from what I've seen just today, and today's the first time I've really been around the team, he pulls guys aside and he's warming guys up, putting guys through workouts. And that really builds the confidence of the players. And not only that, with the coaches, when the coaches see the players putting in that extra work, they feel more confident putting them in the game.
Confidence, and John Ung is on the court now. The veteran, 33 years of age. He's in the corner. Ban for the three. Tautua gets the rebound. Aggressive, tries to spin, but he's in traffic.
Offensive rebounds. They really put pressure on the defense, and not only that, you get extra possessions for your team. Right there, Tautua he got an offensive rebound. Now he's going to get to the foul line because of his aggressiveness.
I mean, just look at the body language on Moala Tautua's face, the man they call Mo. It's like that competitive desire. I want to win. And just going for a bit of a timeout here at the moment. Coach Chokorda Raka looks a bit frustrated with his team, Nick. I mean, like you said, it needs leadership, it needs organization, but when you're down by this many points late in the second quarter, what do you tell your team to do? Just get a few stops, lift the confidence up?
Basically, that's it. It all starts on defense. You can see Coach for the Warriors, he's getting on his guys. I'm sure he's telling them they have to get stops. The Malaysian players are getting almost every offensive rebound anytime they want. It starts in the paint. The Indonesia Warriors have to start controlling the paint better. I don't know if it's just a chemistry issue that they're having right now. Right here we have Bansin. He couldn't get to the basket all the way, so he pulls up for the jump shot. But a lot of times they're getting to the paint. So they get to the paint, the nice drop pass to Eversley. The more you get into the paint, the more opportunities you have, drop passes and threes. And on defensively, you want to limit them from getting into the paint. You want to build a wall, which Indonesia's not doing right now.
Well, Indonesia has just made some personnel adjustments. They brought in number 42, Kevin Sitorus. This is a big guy who can play at 4, can really knock down shots. And Finton, number 22, he comes on as well. John Smith back on court.
For Malaysia, we got John Ng in the game.
Yeah, the veteran.
He's a veteran, and I played with him, and I know what he's all about. He's all about heart and work ethic, just like me. So I got a lot of respect for the way John plays the game, and it's good to see him back out there.
That's right. He had a few injuries last season, and John has been named the vice captain of this team. Very nice guy, very humble. He's come a long way in the ABL, and Mo Tautua gets beat.
John is really an example of what I tried to tell Moala to be like. Just play within yourself. Try not to do anything spectacular, and you'll be a good player.
Excellent move there by Finton. Now, that will give Indonesia a bit of a lift to be a bit more competitive. Moving around the perimeter, Dragons, cross-court pass for the 3.
One of the problems Indonesia's having is they're in this zone. It's really hard to box out in a zone because you don't have a specified man. The offensive players are roaming around the paint pretty much at will. They don't have a man sticking to them. So when the ball goes up, they have to be more focused on finding someone and boxing them out.
So John Smith, a man who can really knock him down. Dragons. Eversley for the putback, but that's the end of the first half. Dragons lead 44-27. We're just going to go for a short break, but when we come back, more analysis on this game. Welcome back to MABA Stadium, and the Westports Malaysia Dragons, the home team, leads Indonesia 44 points to 27. Still with me, Ben Ibrahim and Nick Velasco, guest color analyst for today. And it's been a pleasure having Nick here. Nick, thank you again for making the effort to be with us. Your former team showing some great form at the moment against their Indonesia rivals.
Well, it's great to be back. You know, I really love this MABA stadium. I had a lot of good memories here, and I have a lot of respect for Coach Ariel and this organization. They really gave me a second chance in my career to come back into the game.
But Indonesia not playing with confidence at the moment. You thought that was an easy layup, but
yes, that's very embarrassing, to say the least.
But like you said, like we always say, Nick, it's all about development. So right now we're just going to go over for our halftime interview. Lenora is going to talk to Coach Ariel Van Gordia. So over to you, Lynn. Not just quite yet. So we still got a little bit more highlights here. Justin Knox.
Justin Knox is really dominating this game. He's really outplaying Chris Ellis, the Indonesian big man. And that's really the difference in the game because he's controlling the paint on offense and defense.
Lenora is still trying to talk to Coach Ariel Van Gordia. But at the moment, we still just want to break down some stuff. And Justin Knox, a stand-up performance, Muala Tautua. But let's look at the positives for Indonesia at the moment. Nick, can you find any? I mean, they've had a few good open looks, had a few good shots. You know, like that one there by Finton. And like you said, you're expecting a lot out of John Smith. You know, can we see some positives from their game in the first half, even though the scoreboard tells a...
The biggest positive that they have is there's 24 minutes left on to play. So there's only one way to go for them, and that's up. They're really just going to have to focus on the defensive side. If John Smith can continue to control the game at the point.
So sorry there, Nick, let's stop you. Over to you, Lynn, with Coach Ariel.
Coach, you are leading the game, and thanks so much, guys. So we want to know, Ben and Nick are wondering, you're using a lot of the local players for the Dragons. Is there a strategy to that?
I have a pretty young team, so the goal for the first few games is to deepen our bench. So by using them, they have experience. At the mid-season, we'll be able to deepen our bench.
So that's the strategy. Looking at fouls right now, you seem to be having a lot. Are you going to tell the boys to ease up a little bit or go for more?
Well, it's our pressure D, so we're going to give up fouls, but some of those fouls are not very smart. Those are the ones that I don't want to repeat. But I want to stay aggressive. Hopefully we can stay aggressive and keep up on the defense.
So what's your strategy, your main strategy for the next half?
Well, to continue playing good D, I think it's our defense that carries us. Our offense is a bit sloppy at the moment. The execution, I'm not happy. It's our defense that we're getting run-outs. That's why we have the lead.
Thanks so much, Coach. You heard it, boys. Main key thing is defense. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Lynn. And yes, Nick Velasco, you know, Coach Ariel not getting complacent. He's still stressing to his players, play that aggressive defensive game.
Yes, well, it's not over until it's over. And, you know, on many occasions, I've seen teams come back from 20 points down and win it with a lot less time than 24 minutes on the clock.
All right, well, both experts have spoken, Coach Ariel and Nick Velasco. That's our cue to take a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to analyze this game in further detail. Stick with us right here on ABL Livestream TV.
2. Wait. Those are turnovers.
Okay, sir. Could Wusong fit into PBA? Mario Wusong.
Yeah, you could. I mean, he's not Filipino though.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, his game definitely, he could definitely play in the PBA level.
Good shooter.
That's what they're missing actually.
Yeah.
You know, he's the veteran leader that they don't have, and he's the point guard. So why isn't he in the ABL anymore?
He decided to play in the local team. So this league they don't move for one man. So
Right.
there's a lot of financial issues.
Right.
Okay, but come back. Keep going, bro. Keep going. Good job. Hello good people and welcome back to MABA Stadium in downtown Kuala Lumpur. You're still with me, Ben Ibrahim, and Nick Velasco, former Westports Malaysia Dragon and current PBA player in the Philippines, along with Lenora Lau, our courtside reporter. But Nick, at the moment, 44 points to 27 in favor of the home team. Indonesia looking a little disjointed, a little disorganized, maybe due to 2 new players only joining late last week. But like you said, you and I said, they're lacking a lot of leadership at the moment, and in situations like this, you would like to have Super Mario Wusong, who was their star guard last season.
Right. When I was in the ABL 2 years ago, Mario was playing for the Warriors, and they actually won the championship that year. So, you know, that's one thing that they're lacking. Mario is a very a heady point guard. He's a veteran. He's been around a long time, and he's a leader. So I don't know the reasons why he's not on the team this year, but they could definitely use his services, especially tonight.
And we've seen Coach Ariel Van Gordia use some of his local talent, Kwan Yung Jing, Kwek Tien, John Ng, Ban Sin Oi, Tong Wen Kyong. You know, it's really good to see that, you know, Coach Ariel really trying to use locals rather than just the imports and the ASEAN imports. Good for development.
It's very good for development. There's a lot of talent here in Malaysia. I noticed that as soon as I got here. You got young guys like Kwek, Yung Jing, and now they got these two new point guards that weren't here when I was here 2 years ago, Ban Sin and Wen Kyung. Those guys are really impressing me with the way that they're running the team from the second group. They came in and they got everyone organized. They're pushing the ball up the court. Every time they get the ball, they're trying to take a bite out of the paint. And basically what that means is you're trying to get to the basket every time. You're trying to get your foot in the paint at least. And then if they stop you, you can either drop pass or kick it out for a three. And those two guys are doing a very good job of that, as well as scoring for themselves. They've got a couple baskets each.
Now, we can't see it on camera at the moment, but we as commentators have a bit of a view. The Dragons players are smiling at each other. They are happy. Now, as a player, do you sort of encourage that sort of happiness because you don't want complacency to creep in? What say you, Nick, being a current player? Do you encourage that?
You know, every player has their own style of how to deal with the tension of the game. I'm more of a serious guy. I don't like to joke around too much because it takes me out of focus. But you got guys that get a little nervous out there, and one of the ways that they shake the nervousness is by joking around and smiling.
Okay.
So sometimes you have coaches that get upset about that.
Yeah, they do. That's why I asked.
Personally, you know, from a psychological background, each player has their own personality and how they handle the tension and the nervousness of the game. Some players are more confident, some players are less confident. So, you know, I like to just let guys do their own thing. But with this group of guys right here, I saw it when they were in the Philippines, probably a couple of weeks ago. I got to hang out with the team, and you know, I told Coach Ariel that he's got a really good group. I'm really looking forward to seeing them do some major damage in the ABL this year.
Now, speaking about doing major damage in the ABL, we've still got a long way to go in the season. Can you see this Indonesia team clicking once they find all their, well, let's just call it SOPs, standard operating procedures, structures, offensive sets, the way to play defense? Because don't forget, John Smith, a guy who's known for, like last season, for having a great season last season. And Chris Ellis, he's famous for being a great rebounding player. Tremaine Johnson, a bit disappointing today, you know, but he's also, a lot of expectation has been put on him. So Dodo Satepu came a long way last season. So once they get up and running again, can you see them making some damage this season in the league?
Well, there's only one way I could see them in a game. This is a pro league, and I really like to see when a small point guard like Bansin sacrifices his body against a big import like that to stop the break. Some people think it's dirty, but I really appreciate that type of play.
So put your body on the line, according to Nick Velasco, and get physical.
Indonesia here, they're making more passes. It seems like they must have talked about it in the locker room. Obviously, they got a turnover though.
Well, too many passes, but can't hold on to the ball. Need to protect the ball better. Tau Tua spins. What a move by Mo.
Moala went to the basket hard right there. When Chris Ellis stepped up for the help, it didn't seem like he put too much effort into trying to stop him.
Well, that's something that Coach Ariel has encouraged his players to do. Drive hard to the basket. And Indonesia, can they get something here? Johnson!
There we go. Tremaine Johnson he realizes now that he's got to make something happen for his team. He drives in for a strong layup. He got fouled, but he got to the free throw line. If he went in softer, he might not have got that call, but he went in to try and dunk it. And that's what happens when you go up for a dunk strong. You get to the line or you get 2 points.
Now, like you said, imports need to score. And
just got to knock these free throws down, though.
I think they will have a good game, in my opinion. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Lynn. Zone defense, Nick Velasco. A good idea?
Well, obviously they're having a hard time guarding Malaysia one-on-one, man-to-man. So that's why they resorted to the zone. The only problem they're having, they have to know how to box out in the zone. So when Malaysia takes a shot, they have to locate a Malaysian player and get them off the offensive rebounds. Right there, they got another offensive rebound, another possession, another chance to score.
Justin Knox tries to drop it in. He's been quite effective with that move today, but not with that play. But still the standout player after one half.
Right, Justin Knox is shooting 70%, 7 out of 10 from the field. I've seen him hit a couple of jump shots, a couple of jump hooks and layups. He's very efficient out there.
Very, very efficient. That's why they call him the enforcer. But Ellis, Sautua.
Tremaine Johnson is really making a conscious effort to get himself going. So far, every time he's touched the ball in the second half, he's gotten to the basket and gotten fouled. It's nice to see the imports for Indonesia stepping up.
Well, we can't see it on screen at the moment, but Coach Tino and Coach Ariel, Coach Tino whispering to the Dragons players, telling them what to do. Johnson to the corner. And great rebound by Eversley. But now, Knox open. To the corner, Shifai. Great organization there by the Dragons, Nick. Really moving it around.
Shifai showed a lot of patience right there. He could have took the open three-pointer in the corner, but instead he penetrated and got the ball to his big man for the drop pass and the foul. That's a great unselfish play by Shifai.
Well, Shifai didn't have the best season last season because of injury, and he had quite a stellar performance against Singapore last week. And he
to the basket, Justin Knox was a little bit late, probably a step late, a second late on the help, and it resulted in a dunk. I don't know what Johnson did at halftime, but his legs are with him in the second half, and it's really showing.
Ban drives and drops it in. That's confidence by Ui Ban Sin.
That was a very nice move. He faked the three-pointer and split the two defenders for a teardrop. I'm really impressed with the young point guards of Malaysia.
And Johnson hits straight back with a jumper, and he's happy with that, skipping and celebrating. But Shifai, what a basket by Lo Shifai from downtown!
Shifai is a very streaky shooter. Right there you had Tremaine Johnson step up and hit a three. He's got his game going, and Shifai comes right back into the Warriors' face with that three-pointer.
Look at that hustle by the Dragons. They've got the ball. It's 2-on-2. Hits Johnson. Bunsen looking for Knox. And at the moment, just trying to get the sweat and perspiration out of the floor by the officials. And Indonesia quick to pass. What call there by the referee?
I'm still waiting to see Chris Ellis show what he's capable of. He hasn't really shown much so far this game. Justin Knox has really been taking it to him. Maybe that's.
So at the moment, Westports Malaysia Dragons have a healthy lead at the moment, and as we can see on our screen, Coach Ariel trying to draw up a play. Coach Goh Cheng Hua, technical advisor to the team, really trying to say to these guys, look, like Lenora said, keep having fun, but you know, keep the momentum going.
Right, right. You want to keep the defensive intensity up. It's a 17-point lead, but there's still a lot of time on the clock. And the way that Tremaine Johnson is heating up, you never know what could happen.
No, you never know. That's a good point.
So I think they put Chris Eversley on him to try and slow him down a little bit. We'll see how that takes place.
Well, we haven't seen any basketball so far. Much basketball from Gunawan, number 13.
Right.
Setepu, not much action from him either.
One of these local Indonesia Warrior players has to try and make something happen also. You can't rely completely on your imports. Sometimes if the Malaysia Dragons are able to focus and key on Tremaine Johnson in the local
John Ung! The man with the funky haircut has just hit a three. And the
John is really good for those three-pointers. When we were teammates, we'd always look for him in the corners and on the wing where he just hit that one.
Ellis in the low post. He's blocked and he gets the putback. Tip in. That's kind of the movements you were talking about earlier, Nick.
Yes, that's what I want to see more out of Chris Alex. Right there, Justin.
But intent was good.
Right. Well, as a coach, you don't want to take away your players' confidence.
No, you don't.
If you have any daylight, if you have an open look, you got to put it up.
So at the moment, 53-35. Just about over 3 minutes, 50 seconds, 4 minutes to play left. I mean, I suppose the big question we keep asking each other and looking to each other, Nick, is what can Indonesia get? You know, like we said, get some stops, get a run. You know, you never know. Can, you know, just really trim that lead down maybe to 10 points.
How to rebound in this zone and not give up so many offensive rebounds. If they can keep their defensive intensity up and get some stops, they can put together a nice run and get back into this game.
But confidence is with the Dragons. Look at the way they're moving the ball. Fai! Eversley. They're dancing on the court at the moment. Tong. Chris for the fake. Look at the movement and the space. Fai for the fake, for the two. Fai. Just aggressive at the moment.
There it is right there. That's what I was talking about. First of all, they're pounding the ball inside. They're getting to the paint. They're getting offensive rebounds and putbacks. That dunk didn't count, but it's a good example of how Eversley and Knox are just attacking the glass relentlessly. So Indonesia's really going to have to figure out how to put a body on someone and get these guys off the glass.
I suppose the way to look at this, Nick, even though the baskets don't go in consistently for the Dragons, the hustle is there, the aggressiveness is there, and as a coach, you just don't want to stop that, do you?
No, you want to build on that. You want to build on that every game, every practice. You want to keep your guys aggressive, offensively and defensively. Part of the reason they got that extra possession is because Eversley has got his hands active all the time, and he's getting deflections right there. He just got another deflection, started the break.
Alley-oop! Chris Eversley hangs off the rim. And yes, coach for Chocolate Raka shakes his head. No more, no more. The Dragons are celebrating.
They're a really exciting team. They got Showtime back in MABA Stadium right now. I'm happy to see Eversley, the way he's playing. Like I was just saying, he's got his hands active. He got that stop because of his active hands, started the break, and they hit him with the lob for the dunk.
But Indonesia, Nick, I mean, they had the ball. They keep turning it over. I mean, I'm really, really not trying to be a cynic. I'm just trying to be positive, you know, but they're not really giving us a lot to work with.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Their confidence, their body language, it all shows. Someone's going to have to step up and be a leader on that team.
Nothing personal.
It's nothing personal.
Just get it done. And what Indonesia need to do is protect that ball a lot better.
It's very difficult when Malaysia builds the momentum the way they have with the alley-oop dunk like that. It gets the crowd involved. So to overcome that and be down about 20 points is not an easy task.
Rashawn McCarthy back on the court for Malaysia. And John Smith on the court as well. He's in the corner. He's got the ball. Ball off Knox. And that will be Indonesia's ball. Good call by the referee.
Well, it's good to see Indonesia making a few passes before the shot, trying to get each other involved.
And he just stops that easily.
Right there, Justin Knox, he reached for the ball. That's one thing you don't want to do. Once he reached, he was out of position and gave up the dunk.
Really working it around the perimeter today for the Dragons. Justin Knox! And he throws that down!
I think Justin, right there, it was a nice drop pass to Justin Knox for the dunk. He knows what he did wrong on the defensive end. He made up with the dunk on the other end.
Is that a bit of a goaltend there?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Looked a bit. Love to look at that again.
Depends on what rules they use, but sometimes you're allowed to smack the ball off the rim.
It was a quick split second, wasn't it? You've got the sharp eye, Nick Velasco.
Chris Ellis is starting to get going a little bit, which is a good sign for the Warriors.
That is. I mean, you spoke earlier about aggression, bringing it. And Indonesia has not, well, they haven't brought that today.
I actually feel like the Dragons are kind of relaxed on defense a little bit. Maybe being up by 20 points, they're relaxing a little bit, which is not such a good sign. But they're just going to have to make a conscious effort to not reach for the ball and just play solid defense.
Makes it 19-point game. Over 2 minutes to go in this quarter. McCarthy. Again, excellent movement by the Dragons. Eversley open, but Knox goes off the glass and gets it and won! Justin Knox. I can't wait to see his numbers at the end of this game.
Justin, he kind of made a few defensive lapses and mistakes, and you could tell right there he was guarded by about 2 guys, and he still forced it up with the right-handed jump hook, and he scored. So he's trying to make up for it on offense.
Now, wouldn't you like to have played with someone like this in your time, Nick Velasco?
Oh, you wouldn't believe. Like, I had some really good teammates when I was here, Tyrus Wade and Ryan Williams. With this group right here that they have, I told Coach Ariel, he's got a really good chemistry going. They really get along well, and they're having a great time when they play, and it shows.
Well, Chris Ellis just says, yeah, I can do it too.
That was a great pass by John Smith. No look.
That's the stuff we'd like to see.
Chris Ellis has really stepped up his game a lot.
Well, I think it's more from frustration, isn't it? It's just we need baskets.
It's more for necessity. I was surprised it took him so long. I think he just took some time to get his legs under him.
Well,
he looks a lot more fresh and bouncy with his legs in the second half than he did in the first half.
Well, it's a long flight from Germany. That's where he was playing before. And he is a little bit older, 30.
So he's still trying to shake that jet lag.
Same as John Smith. Good to see Wen Keong. Thong Wen Keong. The rebound, kicks out. Ellis. Much better movement by Indonesia, but here come Malaysia. McCarthy. Knox. Eversley moves. Eversley open. Wen Keong for the 2.
Right there we have the offensive rebound on that shot by Wen Keong. And that's really a good sign for Quek. I'd like to see him be more aggressive and track the ball and just be relentless going after the ball every possession.
Well, quick. And Kwan Yung Jing coming on now for Justin Knox. Kwek about to take the free throw shot, and Kwek Ten Yen, a local, a veteran of this team, but he's very young, still in his early 20s. Makes it, like you said, Nick, shoot the ball. And he spent some time in the US last year trying to really improve his game and really improve his confidence in a summer sort of clinic camp in America.
Right, that's all he needs is a little bit more exposure.
Minutes.
Obviously, he's got a great body for basketball. He's got really nice springy legs. He's about 6'8", 6'7". He can shoot the ball. So he just needs more exposure and more experience playing against higher level competition.
Look at Kwan Yung Jing getting in the face of Johnson.
Yung Jing is also one of my favorite players here. You know, he plays with a lot of fire and intensity, and you know, he got in the face of Johnson right there.
That's going to lift his confidence, isn't it?
That's how I play. You know, it's a psychological game as well as a physical game.
Oh, Kwek almost got it off the glass, and the whole Dragons house disappointed with that one, with that big but that's what it's all about, getting the crowd going.
We got McCarthy guarding Johnson right here in the post. Johnson was really attacking from the perimeter. With a smaller McCarthy, he's going to try to get him down to the low block. So McCarthy's going to really have to push him out, just stay behind.
Yeah, really try to push him out of the paint, yeah?
He's going to have to use his lower center of gravity to keep him out of the paint.
Question there, Sean McCarthy, 6 foot, about 6'2", going up against a bigger guy, 6'8". Mismatch there, you know? Do you think there should be a switch there in those type of situations?
Well, I don't know if they consciously made that matchup, but right there I saw Yung Jing was coming in for the double team.
Right.
McCarthy just gave up the foul before Yung Jing could get there. But that is definitely a mismatch.
Eversley, look at Kwek just going in.
That's what I'm talking about. I like to see Kwek's aggressiveness right now. It's like he doesn't realize sometimes how good he can be. If he could just go get his body in that kind of shape where he can attack the ball, the offensive rebounds every single possession, he'll be one of the best players in the ABL for sure.
Well, 64-44 in favor of the home team. The crowd is loving this, Nick. And at the moment, the MC working the crowd.
A player like Rashawn McCarthy, he's playing good, solid defense. He's bringing the ball up, he's not turning it over, and he's getting the ball to the right people, getting the offense started for the Dragons. That's very, very valuable to a team.
Very good input here by Nick Velasco. John Smith, fakes by Michelle. And we have also number 66 on court for the Dragons, Wong Wee Sing, 5'10", 26-year-old, and is a 3-time Agong Cup champion. Agong Cup is the local league, or a local competition in Malaysia. Johnson, more confidence now. Kicks out Smith, and and he's in. Gets it over. That's a good movement by Indonesia.
It was a nice penetration and pass by John Smith for the jump hook right at the dotted line. Indonesia needs to get more deliberate plays like that going for themselves. That's a high percentage play.
So Indonesia, I remember at halftime I was asking Nick, what do Indonesia need to do to be more competitive in this game? And Nick, they have shown signs of some form of excellence in patches in this second half. Much, much better. And Bunsen, she fights a Bunsen. A steal there. Johnson all the way and gets the dunk. And looks at Eversley after taking that dunk and say, yeah, I'm in your house, boy.
Obviously, offensively.
Tautua! And what a play there by the Dragons. Tautua was going to bring down the net.
Right there, the Dragons went back to the whole game.
The good old high-low, and Tautua gets the follow-up shot. John Smith calling for something. Put last season's injuries behind him, and he's having a great game. Go. Moala Tautua posting up, and almost beats two for the basket. Smith.
That was very good post defense by Sid.
This time it's from the Dragons bench. Coach Shogi was saying they want to put in all their local players, but since the Warriors are actually making more runs, they can't hold back on defense, so they have to keep their main players in. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Lynn. All locals as his starting five. Get more minutes, get more confidence, get more game time.
That's very important for young players, especially guys that don't get to play much. And Coach Ariel knows that well. You got to get guys time on the court.
There's an injury here. Someone injured. Never good to see anybody injured. This looks like Johnson just took a bit of a hit.
Imports, Leo Avenido and Forlin Bagyon. Those guys, two guys that really know how to play the game. Forlin is one of my favorite point guard teammates ever in my whole career. I'm not surprised that they're doing well over there.
Well, Florent Bagyon, he's just showing us that age is not an issue, and he is our version of John Stockton in this competition. Played really well with Chris Charles last season.
Definitely. One of the main things about Forlin is that he's a fighter. I've seen him get in fights in practice with guys much bigger than him. He never backs down. And that fire, that competitiveness is what keeps him at the top of his game late in his career.
See, this is why we like having you on our cast, Nick. You tell us what we don't know, the gossip from the training room and fights. Florent Bagyon, I wouldn't think that he was a fighter. I mean, off the court, that is, but a competitive athlete is a competitive athlete. And yes, changes here. John Smith looking very out of breath. John Smith fouled out of this game. Maybe a bit too aggressive, Nick Velasco.
Right. John Smith is a very active player. So, you know, when he just got here back to the ABL, he's trying to make things happen. Sometimes you can be a little over aggressive and the referees take you out of the game.
Well, Indonesia just trying to get some points and take it over to the next game. Don't forget, this season still a 6-team competition. Moala Tautua coming out, and look at Mo. He's like a celebrity, isn't he? He waves to the crowd and says, "Thank you very much. I love you all. I love you all." And he brings on, Coach Ariel, that is, brings on Kwek Tian Yen, this young man. And love to look at Johnson's stats at the end of this game, because he has just played a whole lot better in the second half. 2 out of 2.
Yes, he started to knock down his free throws also. Earlier in the game, he wasn't making his free throws. He would miss both of them each time he went to the line. And really that's a sign of not having your legs under you. Late in the game, you could tell he finally got his legs back and he started dunking everything, attacking the basket hard. And he got a little animated, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great for the fans and great for the league.
Off balance shot there by Knox, and here comes Indonesia. I got a hand on that, Kwek got a hand on that, but it went in. Good floater by Indonesia. But
that was nice. He put it nice and high off the glass. Got it right over Kwek's hands.
Smart play. Bounce pass, Eversley lays it in. I'd love to look at that again. Was that a cut?
It's a nice little bounce pass to a baseline cutting Eversley. Those are the easy baskets that you need. You know, you got to get easy baskets like that if you want to have a 20-point lead.
So just about 1 minute left in this game. Looks like Coach Ariel says, yes, I'm bringing on my local boys. And knocks off, Eversley off. Number 31, Shen Hao. Yim Shen Hao, 6'1" from Perak, Malaysia, coming on. Look at this, Nick Velasco and all ASEAN, local ASEAN that is, starting fives. Wan Yung Jing, Kwek Ten Yen, Shek Hao, Ban Sinoi team captain, and number 66, Wong Wee Sing. They are gonna really enjoy every moment of this.
Like I said before, I was really impressed with the local talent here in Malaysia when I first got here in 2011. And you know, these guys know how to play. I'm excited to see the type of player Kwek develops into. He's still in the developmental stage, and he's showing that his ceiling is limitless. Like, as soon as he realizes that he could actually dominate these games, he's going to be one of the best players in Asia, in my opinion.
Well, let's hope so, which is great for Malaysian basketball, great for ABL basketball to see a local product come through the ABL system and really dominate. Wan Yung Jing in the low post, tries to go, and Yung Jing beats two for the basket.
Yung Jing is a very aggressive player. The post defense of the Warriors is just definitely not strong enough to handle him down in the paint.
And looks like Coach Chokorda for the Warriors has done the same thing. Brought on local starting five, Satepu, Gunawan, Lakudu, Avan Saputra, number 23, and Harianus Lukudu, the point guard. 6.8 seconds and a 21-point lead for the Dragons. Where to now, Nick, for both teams? Very quickly.
Well, for Malaysia, they don't want to get complacent. Sometimes the hardest games to play are the ones after you win a 20-point victory.
And that's the final play of the day. The Westports Malaysia Dragons defeat the Indonesia Warriors 84 points to 66 on their home ground at MABA. Some form of little bit of revenge from last season when the Warriors beat them to march to the ABL finals. But we saw some great basketball today, Nick Velasco.
Saw some really good basketball. I'm really impressed with the Dragons. Coach Ariel did what he does. He put together a really strong team. He got some good athletic imports. Moala is making his presence felt in the paint. I'm really impressed with the young guards for the Dragons. They showed a lot of heart, and they controlled the team throughout the game.
Now, as we see here, Coach Ariel does this sometimes, brings the players onto the middle of the court and really soaks up the atmosphere, soaks up the emotion, and say, yeah, we've got 2 out of 2. Now, tell us, as an ex-player of Coach Ariel, what this powwow is all about.
But really, you know, he really knows how to bring the team together. He knows how to create good chemistry amongst the players, and this really is for the fans. It's for everyone here at MABA Stadium, and Ariel understands that. So right here, what he likes to do is give a little salute to the fans and thank them for the support. It's all about the fans when it all boils down to it.
Well, that's great to hear, great to see, and look at Michelle there with that scoop shot off the glass. This is some of the great things that we saw from Indonesia. John Smith hitting that, and look at this man here, Tremaine Johnson, really coming into this game in the second half, Nick, and look at that off the glass as well. So let's hope he can do that much better and much more as the season progresses, because that's just great for basketball in the ABL in general.
Right, like what I said before, the Warriors put together a really solid second half. If they had played the first half the same way they played the second half, it might have been a one-possession game at the end. So they really showed that they can compete in this league.
Okay. Now Lenora Lau, our courtside reporter, she is on standby at the moment to talk to the winning coach, and that's Coach Ariel Vanguardia. Look at this photograph moment. and this will be on our Instagram and Twitter. And yes, to all you basketball fans out there, just tag us on our ABL Facebook website. Tag us at ABL News on Twitter. And we'd love to hear from you. What was your favorite moments of this game? What's been your favorite moments of this league in this season thus far? We'd love to hear from you because, like Nick said, it's all about the fans. And you are very much part of why we all love our game of basketball so much. You know, seeing dunks, seeing shots, seeing rejections. And no surprise here that Justin Howard has been voted the best player of this game. And Nick Velasco now is just crunching the numbers. What do we got there at the moment, big man?
Good job, Justin.
And yes, you didn't see it, but Justin Knox just came over to the commentator's box and just gave us a fist bump. That's how much of a nice guy he is. I think
he's a great guy,
it's just your presence, Nick Velasco. I mean, you are a celebrity in this house, really, you know.
I wish, but definitely Justin.
Well, more from you a little bit, Nick. Over to you, Lynn. Guys, just 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. This celebrity here.
Awesome. Now,
Rudy actually played for the Dragons.
For your next game, they have been undefeated. Are you worried?
That's the challenge for us. I think it's our defense that won us today, and it's a defense, same defense that we should play Saigon. So
Okay, Nick, I'll just wrap it.
Any sneak peek on strategies on what you're going to be doing for that game?
Secret. I'd like to keep it secret.
Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations. Congratulations, Justin. Back to you guys.
Okay, thanks very much, Lynn, and congratulations to Coach Ariel, the Dragons, and Justin Knox. Well, everybody, on behalf of the ABL, on behalf of Lenora Lau, Nick Velasco, and myself, Ben Ibrahim, it's been a pleasure covering this game. The Dragons defeating the Indonesia Warriors 84 points to 66. We'll catch you next time on our ABL live stream. Take it easy. This is ABL Season 2014.